Hello everyone, my name is Christian Rocha, and today I'll be presenting my research on wildfire-specific PM2.5 exposure and its effects on asthma-related respiratory health outcomes among California residents. I chose this topic because wildfires have become much more common in California over the past several years, and millions of people are exposed to wildfire smoke each year. I wanted to understand how this type of air pollution affects people with asthma and why it has become an important public health concern. So, wildfires are becoming more frequent and more severe due to factors such as prolonged drought, higher temperatures, and changing climate conditions. One of the biggest health concerns from wildfires is the smoke they produce. Wildfire smoke contains very small particles called PM2.5. These particles are less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter, making them small enough to travel deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream. Because of this, they can cause serious health problems, especially for individuals who already have respiratory diseases like asthma. Wildfire smoke is considered a major environmental health problem because it can travel hundreds of miles away from the actual fire. That means people who are nowhere near the flames can still breathe the unhealthy air. Exposure to wildfire smoke can cause coughing, wheezing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. Children, older adults, pregnant women, and people with asthma are especially vulnerable because their lungs are either still developing, weakened, or already affected by a chronic disease. The research I reviewed consistently found that wildfire PM2.5 exposure increases asthma-related health problems. Several studies reported increases in emergency department visits and hospitalizations during wildfire events. Researchers also found that PM2.5 concentrations increased, asthma attacks became more common. Because multiple studies reached similar conclusions, the scientific evidence strongly supports an association between wildfire smoke exposure and worsening asthma symptoms. PM2.5 affects the lungs by triggering inflammation and oxidative stress. These tiny particles irritate the airways and cause swelling, making it more difficult for air to move through the lungs. For people with asthma, this inflammation makes the airways even more sensitive, increasing the likelihood of coughing, wheezing, and asthma attacks. In severe cases, these attacks may require emergency medical treatment or hospitalization. Although wildfires cannot always be prevented, there are several ways people can reduce their exposure to harmful smoke. People should monitor the air quality index before spending time outdoors, remaining indoors during periods of poor air quality, and using HEPA air filters whenever possible. If outdoor exposure is unavoidable, wearing a properly fitted N95 respirator can help reduce inhalation of harmful particles. Public education campaigns, including wildfire prevention efforts such as Smokey Bear, also help reduce wildfire risks and increase community awareness. So in conclusion, wildfire PM2.5 is a significant environmental health hazard that affects millions of Californians every year. The evidence clearly shows that wildfire smoke increases asthma attacks, emergency department visits, and hospitalizations, especially among vulnerable populations. As wildfires continue to become more common, improving prevention efforts and reducing smoke exposure will be critical for protecting public health. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you guys for sticking here, and I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you.